Hello everybody, welcome back to Shadowrun Hong Kong, where guess I'm gonna have a... my friend, you've done an admirable job indeed. I've already incorporated the technology that you recovered, my stolen tech, into a new chassis that I'm fabricating for Crochet. We were going there anyway. He tips his cigarette, cone of burning embers tumbles to the ground, as you say. The next time we take to the field, you can expect to find Crochet's combat effectiveness considerably improved. He has become truly deathless, just as his namesake was in the legends. When he takes damage, he will mend himself before your eyes. I can't wait to see it in action. Nor can I, my friend. He turns back to the whirring machines that fill his shop, watching their progress with hunger in his eyes. Nor can I. Oh, great. Anything else? Yeah. Sorry about the smell. It's long past time to purge the coolant sump. He frowns. If I had the access to the proper equipment, this would not be a problem. I could clean the fluid and reuse it. But alas, halogen treatment chambers are rather hard to come by, even a place like Hyoi. He shakes his head as if to clear it. Anyway, my friend, you didn't come here to discuss the ins and outs of shop maintenance, I'm sure. So what brings you here? Mind if I ask you a few questions? Be my guest. I have no secrets to keep. How does your self-repair system work? There were three distinct elements to my approach. When these elements were all working in concert, prototypes that utilized the process displayed remarkable self-repair capabilities. This may be a lengthy explanation. I can skim over it if you please, or I can break it down for you if you're genuinely interested. Sure. How does it work? Very well. The long version, it is. The first element of my process was an outer skin that the drone could be wrapped in, a refinement of older biomimetic self-healing materials, modeled to emulate the self-repair capabilities of living beings. Imagine a polymer composite interlaced with microtubules, capillaries if you will. These vessels are capable of delivering bonding agents to the site of a wound as it occurs, thus healing it. I've heard of smart materials that operate on a similar principle. They've been around for decades, haven't they? Yes, though they remained uncommon until recently. As I said, my material was a refinement on those earlier designs. It was also only a first part of the system. The synergy between the three was what made the project work. The second element involved the underlying structure of the drone's architecture, servos, gears, circuits, etc. Utilizing self-assembling materials and redundant systems, I created a system by which damaged components could be fabricated and replaced by the drone itself without any need for human interference. Okay. What's the third part? Finally, this system had a magical component. The corner of his mouth dips downward. I must confess a certain degree of ignorance when it comes to this portion of the project. I understand some of the theory behind what was done, but the specifics are beyond me. Tell me what you do now. In layman's terms, a magical element was necessary to render the system self-perpetuating. Obviously, no purely mechanical system can repair itself indefinitely. Synthetic skin becomes more brittle with every wound that it heals, and the automated assembly components will eventually run out of materials to work with. As a rule, fighting against entropy is a losing proposition. But with magic, we can rewrite those rules, weaken the grasp of those entropic forces to the point that they are rendered negligible. Think of magic as the lubrication that keeps the gears turning. I wish it wasn't necessary, but I am also a realist, and I must confess that it is required for the system to work. So that's technology we recovered? Yes, that's right. My thanks to you again, my friend. I'm in your eternal debt. What do you think a post-human future would mean? Freedom. He takes a long drag on the cigarette, sucking the smoke deep into his lungs. When he speaks, it erupts from his mouth in a plume. The ultimate freedom to direct our own progress and to steer ourselves as a people in whatever direction we please. We wish. Consider, my friend, every aspect of Crochet was tailor-made for a purpose, dreamed up, designed, and built by a singular guiding intellect. Okay, keep going. Now think of the circumstances surrounding your own birth, and the building blocks that shaped you into the woman you are today. Your mother and father exchanged fluids, sloppily, no doubt, and with all the mindless abandon that such biological imperatives entail. That might be the ugliest description of sex I've ever heard. Ugly, perhaps, but accurate. Sexual intercourse is an inarticulate process, a messy delivery mechanism for genetic material spurred on by hormones and base urges. Any attempts to guide the process on a societal level get branded eugenics and decried as monstrous for obvious reasons. But I digress. The point I was making was that the forces that shaped you and me and anyone else you cared to mention were ultimately mindless ones. Blind, manipulative, biological drives that led a sperm and an egg to collide. Add a new roll of the dice and a dash of Mendelian genetics, and here you are. Natural processes of evolution and sexual selection guide the development of our species through trial and error. Throw a few billion darts at the wall and see what sticks. In the future that I foresee, this process will be reined in, guided by our own controlling intellects. To co-opt an antiquated phrase, the myth of intelligent design will become a reality, but we will be our own gods, reshaping ourselves as we see fit. So, how about, Gattaca? Surely we've seen that. Or do films from the 90s, 1990s, not exist anymore? Possibly mad scientist. What does this have to do with posthumanism? Step back for a moment and imagine a future in which we have fully integrated with machines. Really imagine it. There will be no niche that we cannot fill. We can guide our own evolution, tailor ourselves to whatever environment we see fit. We will no longer be slaves to the selective processes that have dictated our development since time immemorial. At what point do we cease being human? He shrugs. Whenever we choose to define ourselves in that way, humanity is an intrinsically human concept. If we decide to rebrand ourselves as a different species, that's our decision to make. I strongly suspect that nobody else would care. What about dragons? Perhaps. But for the sake of our continued development, that's a risk I'm willing to take. We cannot limit ourselves out of fear of what others might think. Crochet raises itself on its legs, stretching so that Raptor can caress its chassis. The motion is alarmingly fluid, more like a living thing than a machine. Aww. Raptor traces his fingertips over the drone's shell, his eyes focused on an imaginary point on the horizon. We have placed such unnecessary limitations on ourselves, my friend. It fills my heart with sorrow to know what we could be, but are not. I would see those limits stripped away, peeled back and discarded for the betterment of all. In the future that I foresee, we will open our eyes to the possibilities that surround us. Bodies reshaped to thrive in the deep ocean or in the depths of space, bodies inspired by nature or the human imagination, or both. Bodies that can be used and shed, and used again, inhabited as the wearers see fit. The timely realization of such a future is what drives me forward. It is the cause to which I have devoted my life, and thankfully it is inevitable. He tips a cigarette, sending ash spilling down onto the metal floor. Assuming, of course, that we don't destroy ourselves first. Hard limit to the fusion of man and machine. You're speaking of the essence limit and the problems associated with essence loss. He releases a plume of smoke from the corner of his mouth. Yes, of course, it will be a problem, but as with all problems, a workaround will present itself. Of this I'm certain. Are you basing that on anything, or are you just taking it on faith? He smirks. No, my friend, I'm not taking it on faith. My beliefs are rooted in my own observations and experiences. For the time being, let's leave the matter at that. What role would a drone like Crochet play? A similar one to the role that he plays now, I imagine. He was designed for a purpose, after all. That said, I can see the techniques that went into his design and fabrication having much broader-ranging applications. You keep calling it him. Yes, of course. Crochet is very close to me. As if on cue, the drone scuttles forward, and the hardened tips of its claws screeching across the metal floor of the shop. It comes up short just in front of you, a strange mechanical chitter rising from deep within its chassis. You might accuse me of anthropomorphizing my little companion, assigning human characteristics to him, where in fact there are none. Truth be told, there is much more to Crochet than meets the eye, but that is a different conversation. One best suited to be held for another time. Well, why not talk about it now? Because I have work to do, and I'm sure you could find better uses for your time than listening to me prattle on. He gestures toward the hatch in the ceiling. With that, I'm afraid I must ask you to show yourself out. We can continue our talk at a later time. Okay. Interesting. We're gonna just leave the ghoul down there. We're not too terribly interested in actually learning about him. You find Moo sitting on his bed and staring at the floor when you come into his cabin. He rubs his head up and back, occasionally stopping to softly bounce his palm against his forehead. When he notices you, he closes his eyes and shakes his head. Not in the mood to talk right now. Gotta wrap my brain around this Edward Sang thing. Tough finding out he wasn't who he thought he was. Yeah, it's pretty much what I was thinking. 16 years. We lived with him 16 years and we never knew the man. 16 fucking years. I just gotta think. Work through this. Oh, okay. So I guess no? No? Maybe? No? How about you? Can we have a chat with you again? Let's get back to that lesson. That works for me. Let's get back to it. Can you tell me more about the sinking ship? Sure. The story's over, so we can get into it. I moved onto the sinking ship when I was just a kid. I think I was 12, maybe 13 years old at the time. In the beginning, it was just me and a couple of Rat Shaman friends, Cadmus and Melvina. They were older, but they were always cool to me. Is it typical for groups of Rat Shamans to congregate? Not terribly, no. I mean, we have lodges, same as any other group of shamans. You can usually find a few of us hanging out in those. I guess there was just something special about our little group. Or maybe about the sinking ship. We liked it. We felt at home there. Didn't hurt the sinking ship was well stocked and provisioned when we, found it, either. Don't look at me like that. It was abandoned when we took it. Abandoned. There was a team of Shadowrunners that lived on the thing before us, but they bid it on a job. Cad and Mel heard the knock of opportunity, and they claimed the raft for Rat in record time. Taking over the sinking ship wasn't an easy job, mind you. Previous owners had installed traps and automated defenses all over the raft. Cad had his hands full with those for a month. What kind of traps are we talking about? She shrugs. Usual stuff, explosives, pop turrets, that kind of thing. Cad and his sister Yasmin took care of most of it without too much trouble. Biggest problems were the scuttling charges. Runners who built the raft had installed these explosives all along the perimeter that ripped the bottom out of the thing if it were ever seized by the police. The explosives were tricky to deal with. Cad was able to disarm them, but he had to leave them where they were. It was always just slightly uncomfortable, knowing that I was sleeping on top of a couple 100 pounds of dormant explosives. Yeah, I can't blame you. And like I said, it was free. There weren't really even any rules to follow, which suited me fine. Malvina was sort of the leader of our little nest, but we never really listened to her. She was always trying to play the mom card and instill a sense of responsibility into us. It was cute. She did have a propensity for getting things done, though. I have to give her that. Anyway, after a few months, other people started showing up. Squatters, homeless people, Shadowrunners, assorted crazies. As long as they stayed cool with us, we were cool with them. Eventually, it became a community. Imagine that. Stranger things have happened. Sure, I guess so. Like I said, it's a long story. Was there something else you wanted to talk about? No. Hey, I'm sorry this lesson wound up getting a little unfocused at the end. I'm not really sure what came over me. Happens to the best of us. Well, I still feel bad about it. So look, I'll make you a deal. Your next lesson will definitely be on point, and I'll tell you what it's about up front. No more question and answer sessions. How does that sound? Fine by me. Okay. I guess we just head off to, our next run, then? We don't... well, our story progression run, because we don't have any, jobs left to take at the moment. Don't have any, yeah. We don't got nothing, so... I guess we're just heading off to track down the... the dude in Dreamland, yeah. I wonder if I could, boy. Oh, jeez, come on. Yeah, this game's engine, this franchise's engine has never been that stable. It's quite a thing. Like, man, I don't understand why it's so, like, every time we're just in this one area, it's like just chugs along trying to like stream in assets or something, I guess. Go meet with Dreamland. Dreamland. We're gonna be Kirby's Return to Dreamland. The tenement that Dreamland lives in smells of mold and desperation. The people living here are the kind who don't want to be found. Okay, this is the right place, Kira. Emily should be in the first apartment. Is she alone? I should be. I haven't heard anything about her having company. I distinctly remember hearing about some old boyfriend who might still be in the mix. Even if he isn't here in Hong Kong. I do know she's in danger, though. There's a bunch of big money execs who are holding a grudge over some activist activities she used to be into. Emily's from Berlin, but she moved to Hong Kong after the F-State collapsed. The shock villain writer, that's the group she worked for. We're supposed to protect her, but they've got their own problems to deal with now. I guess she decided she'd be safer on her own. We were there. Like, we were... Sounded like chaos. That's what I heard, too. Experiment in sustained institutional anarchy? Great environment for a Shadowrunner, but it ended up just like communism did. Another pipe dream. The German government gave the corporations the go-ahead to invade, and they forced the anarchists to retreat to the eastern part of the city. Now Berlin's run by the Corps. The Corps. Just like Hong Kong. I bet they wind up building a wall again. Wouldn't put it past them. So how should we handle this friend of yours? No clue really. I've never met her in meat space. Just be your charming self. I'm sure everything will work out just fine. Great. This is a very nice place you've got here. This is a really nice place you got here, actually. Let's, oh, what? No, nah. I did not want to, okay. Let's, drop a save. Just, you know, just in case. Hi. Hi. The apartment's no better than the hallway. No, it really isn't. Empty fast food cups and packages of dried snack foods are strewn about the room. In the corner, a box of cat litter sits filled to overflowing. You don't see any cats. There's a patched together matrix terminal sitting on a stack of crates connected to a banged up cyberdeck. Within arm's reach of the cyberdeck is a 20-something woman with pale white skin, dirty blonde hair, and a bleak expression. Emily looks at the deck slung across Isabel's back. So, you're Isabel, huh? I didn't expect... a dwarf? Yeah, I get that a lot. No. I didn't expect you to be so pretty. The woman has a soft German accent and a dour disposition. Okay. I can't do a German accent. I can't do any accents, really. But I especially can't do a German accent. So, I should never have agreed to this, Isabel. She groans. I should never have even responded to your message. If the oligarch swine who've been hunting me find out where I am. Okay, so she's a lot more gruff than, okay, alright. They won't find out from us. Uh-huh. She searches your eyes with her own. You can see the intelligence in there, but it's hard to get past her sullen manner. This is the woman I told you about. She needs software you developed to inhibit your cortical implant. She needs what? Her tone is sharp. Her eyes flash daggers at Isabel. I don't think I should be getting into this. I have a I feel like appealing to emotions, maybe not the best idea. I have a business proposition. I don't know, woman. I'm kind of done with the business. She pulls out a near-empty pack of German cigarettes and lights the last one. In case you're not up on current events, I've got a kick line of mercs and bounty hunters after me. Mess around with the headwear that the shock villain writer installed in me is the last thing on my mind. Maybe I can give you something else to think about. We're not going to be able to follow up on strength because we literally only have like 3 strength, don't we? Yeah, we have 3 strength, so we're not, no. This is important. I need the software you created so I can find out what happened to my father. Your father, huh? Sounds rough. He dead? He's missing. At least I don't think he's dead yet. That's why this is important. She softens. Been there. Or something like there. It's the ambiguity that'll kill you. She considers for a moment. Okay, give me a minute. She grabs her cyberdeck and jacks into it. Her jaw goes slack and her fingers hover over the keyboard, tapping keys at a blinding speed. When she finishes, she jacks out and ejects the data stick from the deck. Here. She hands you the stick and taser gun with masking tape wrapped around the grip. Modify this taser with it and use it on your target. Jolt should stop the memory wipe process before it starts. Do you wanna pair? I mean, is she gonna think that we're like treating her like with pity or like a charity case? I mean, we have plenty of cash, so we can like, it's not a problem to like afford it or anything. But yeah, thanks, it'll help. I wish every problem was that easy to solve. Cool. Takes 3 rounds to sedate the degrade. Well, oh, it's just, okay, that's not actually a weapon? Alright. Oh, jeez. Okay. That was easy. Now what? Do we just leave? Oh, okay. Okay. Where do you, where do I, right. Okay. Well, that should be fun. Let's bring our classic handy group with us. Yeah, it should be fun. It really would be cool to like see some of these guys in action, though. Yes. Oh well. Maybe at some unspecified point in the future, if I like play the game again. Isabel has modified a taser to introduce Dreamland's cortical inhibitor program into the plastic face man's neural network. That should stop his headwear from completing a memory wipe and allow you to interrogate him for information about Raymond Black. But first you'll need to find him. Kindly Cheng's made contact with an underground information broker named Xiaozi, who has managed to obtain the plastic-faced man's complete itinerary. With it, you can choose the time and place to perform an extraction and find out what he knows. Xiaozi works out of an abandoned night market in Shek Kip Mei, the Xing House Court. Yay! So this is not, like, it's not a weapon. Eh. Oh, really? Uh, why is her, what? Why is her equipment there? Is it because I gave her a new one? Did I? Okay, well, strange. Did I select a new deck? I don't remember anymore. Meet with Shazzy. Okay, we can do that. This looks not entirely unlike our hub base. Hello. I mean, we could probably explore a little bit. Might not be the worst idea. You never know what you'll find. I guess we can't go down there though, so that's good. Book it. What else is around here? Let's find some stuff before we actually go in there. We got some repeated character models here and there. That's okay. Got some really repeat. Okay. All right. Cool it, guys. You don't need to. You should have more. Oh. More variety in your character models if you're gonna be like putting in kind of a strange looking elf. Hi. Ha! Oh, I know I got what you need. As soon as you walked in that door, I was thinking, I know exactly what this woman's looking for. No doubts, no questions. It's you. You're that woman. The one with the need. The hunger. Now what brings you into Zach's fine emporium of exotic potables? Wait, I thought you already knew? You look like the type who wants some jazz, some kamikaze, some cram. Real heavy stuff. I'm not in that business anymore. I'm all about the mellow. Relax in the world. It's crazy out there these days. Can I see your basic stock? Well then. Increased willpower, reduced incoming damage, like that wouldn't, yeah. You got any harsh goods? You seem like a good customer, yeah? My buddy dropped this off earlier. Should probably unload it soon. Don't usually carry this kind of thing. Take a look. Whoa. A taser. A custom shotgun. And a custom SMG. Huh. Don't SMG... Oh, no. I thought SMGs normally had a chance to... I guess they might not. Well, we could give Duncan a shotgun, like... You know, actually, also only 200. Why only 200? So it's got two shots, 12 damn. Why only? Okay. I mean, I'll take it, but I'm curious as to why it costs so little. Can I give you the shotgun? I mean, I don't know if he's actually any good with shotguns either, but he's undoubtedly better than I am. Also, I can't check to see if... Okay, well, he's got a shotgun anyway. I'll be back. Remember Zach for all your tranquil needs. Namaste. Oh, Zach Flash. Okay, well, we got a shotgun, so there's that at least. It'll go back in my inventory once we're done, but you know. So before we go in here to have a chat with all these people. Yeah, meet with Xiaozi. Before we do that, we're going to call it. And, yeah, so next time we will enter the Xing House Court. Which, does not look very much like a court building, but, hey, who knows? Yeah, and we will find out what he knows. So, thank you all for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye!